Sky High, 2005 film, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Sky High is a 2005 American superhero comedy film about an airborne school for teenage superheroes. It was directed by Mike Mitchell and written by Paul Hernandez, Robert Shuley, and Mark McCorkle. The film stars Michael Anganaro as Will, an incoming freshman at the school, Danielle Panabaker as his best friend and love interest, Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston as his parents, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as a popular senior, Stephen Strait as Will's rival, and Linda Carter as Principal Powers. Plot. Will's stronghold begins 9th grade at Sky High, a high school that exclusively teaches teenagers with superpowers. Will's parents are the Commander and Jetstream, two of the world's most famous superheroes. Will's best friend, Layla, who happens to have a crush on him, has the power to manipulate plant life. Will is anxious about attending Sky High, located on a floating campus reached by a flying school bus, because, unbeknownst to his parents, he has not developed any superpowers. On the first day, he and other 9th graders are harassed by a duo of bullies. Speed, a burly senior with super speed, and Lash, a skinny senior with extreme flexibility. Because of his lack of powers, Will is slated to enter a curriculum for hero support and becomes a sidekick. His classmates include Ethan, who melts into a fluid, Zach, who glows in the dark, Magenta, who transforms into a guinea pig, and Layla, who joins the class in protest against the two-track nature of the school's education system. The class is taught by the commander's former sidekick, quote, all-American boy, end quote. Will learns that not everyone gets powers, and there are such cases of those who have had two superpower parents and do not get any superpowers, such as the bus driver, Ron Wilson. The commander is unaware that his son has been relegated to hero support, and shows Will his hidden trophy room. He is particularly proud of the mysterious weapon, quote, the pacifier, end quote, which he took from his science-themed nemesis, Royal Pain, years ago. But unknown to either of them, Royal Pain, who has been presumed dead, watches them from a hidden camera in one of the other trophies. As Will settles into Sky High and makes friends with other sidekicks, he comes into conflict with pyrokinetic student Warren Peace, whose supervillain father has been imprisoned by the commander. During a fight, sidekicks... What? Oh, my bad. During a fight between the two, Will eventually manifests super strength, impressing Gwen Grayson, a beautiful and popular technopath who controls machines with her mind. Will is subsequently transferred to the hero track. Gwen visits the Stronghold house and asks Will's parents to attend the homecoming dance to accept an award for Superhero of the Year, which they accept. Later on, while walking to her house, Gwen asks Will out to homecoming and, to his delight, becomes his girlfriend. Will then begins spending more time with Gwen and her clique of friends, ignoring the sidekicks in Layla, who reveals to Warren that she has loved Will for a long time. On the night before the dance, Gwen tricks Will into throwing a party at his house and uses speed to steal the pacifier, which goes unseen by Will when he takes her into the secret sanctum. After Gwen lies to Layla, who shows up to investigate the noise, and he believes the lie, Will breaks up with Gwen, refusing to attend the dance, even though his parents were invited as honored guests. Later, he looks through his father's old yearbook and sees a student who resembles Gwen holding the pacifier, which he subsequently discovers has been stolen. Believing that the student is Royal Pain and that Gwen is her daughter, he rushes to the dance. I'm going to take a quick soda break here. Sorry. Fago Red Pot. Good shit. At the dance party, Gwen reveals that she is actually Royal Pain. During her previous confrontation with the commander, the pacifier, which is meant to turn its target into an infant, had malfunctioned, turning her into a baby instead, thus faking her suspected death. She has since waited 17 years for revenge. With the help of Speed, Lash, and Penny, she takes over the school and uses the pacifier to turn the faculty and the students into infants. After returning to school, Will apologizes to Layla and teams up with Warren, the sidekicks, and Ron Wilson to save the day. The sidekicks demonstrate their heroism after Royal Pain sabotages the school's anti-gravity drive, and their powers come in handy restarting it. Meanwhile, Will discovers that he has Jetstream's powers of flight when he is thrown off the edge of the school grounds, and prevents the campus from falling using his two abilities. Gwen and her henchmen are defeated and arrested, and the faculty and students return to their proper ages. His parents thank all the sidekicks and admit they are heroes. Will and Layla kiss, and a voiceover by Will at the end reveals that they become a couple. He and Warren became best friends, and Ron Wilson gained superhuman powers after falling into a vat of toxic waste, thus becoming a superhero. Cast: Michael Angarano. Angarano? We'll go with Angarano. As William, quote, Will, unquote, Theodore Stronghold, a freshman at Sky High, whose parents are the two most famous superheroes, Commander and Jetstream, as well as Maxville's top real estate agents in their secret identities. His super strength, inherited from his father, and his ability to fly, inherited from his mother, start as inactive and gradually manifest over the film. Kurt Russell as Steve Stronghold / the Commander. Will's father, who is one of the world's strongest superheroes, displaying superhuman strength and invulnerability, and is a successful businessman in his secret identity. In a deleted scene, it is revealed that Steve was an investigative reporter who seeks to change his career before becoming a real estate agent. Kelly Preston as Josie DeMarco, Stronghold / Jetstream. Will's mother, and a successful real estate agent, as Jetstream. She uses the power of supersonic flight. She is also touted as being an expert in hand-to-hand combat. Daniela Panabaker as Lila Williams, Will's best friend and love interest, who is a pacifist vegetarian and is able to animate and control plant life. Her mother's abilities are said to allow her to talk to animals, and her father is a normal human. Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Gwendolyn, quote, Gwend, end quote, Graceland / Royal Pain / Sue Tenney. A senior at Sky High whom Will, along with everyone else, falls in love with. Her power is technopathy. Winston said of her role, quote, I bounced around. I was either the hero of the sidekicks or the sidekick to the heroes, end quote. When she attended Sky High the first time, no one understood her class of powers, and she was slated as a sidekick. This is a bullet point of the previous one. Patrick Warburton provides the vocal effects of Gwen in her Royal Pain suit. Stephen Strait as Warren Peace, parentheses, a pun on, quote, War and Peace, end quote, end parentheses. The son of an unnamed superheroine and a supervillain known as Baron Battle, who is in jail for 4 life sentences. He is pyrokinetic. Warren is a high school outcast who tries to lead a decent life, but is often misunderstood due to being a son of a felonious father. D.J. Daniels is Ethan Bank, a sidekick and one of Will's friends. He can melt into a fluid, parentheses, which earned him the nickname, quote, Popsicle, end quote, end parentheses. Kelly Vitz as Magenta, quote, Maj, end quote, Lewis, one of Will's friends, who shapeshifts into a guinea pig with purple highlights and streaks in her fur. Nicholas Braun, as Zachary, quote, Zach, end quote, Braun, slash Zack Attack, Will's childhood friend, who has a latent ability to glow in the dark. At the change in pose class, he changed but got in his underwear, which is a pair of white shorts with yellow spots. I'm not sure why that's... Am I missing something? No. Okay, moving on. Malika Haq and Khadija Haq as Penny Lent, Gwen's best friend, who duplicates herself and is naturally athletic. Jake Sandvig and Will Harris as Lash and Speed. Ooh. Soda's coming back. Sorry about that. The resident gang at Sky High. Lash is skinny and has elasticity, while Speed is overweight. It can run at extremely high speed. Linda Carter as Principal Powers, the principal Sky High, who has the power to change into a luminous energy form resembling a comet and back at will. Bruce Campbell as Tommy Boomowski. Tommy Boomowski slash Coach Boomer slash Sonic Boom. The gym teacher at Sky High, also known as Sonic Boom due to his ability to release sonic waves from his vocal cords, also known as Sonic Screaming. Of note here, Sonic Screaming is hyperlinked. However, the page to which it refers does not exist. Moving on. His real name is listed as Tommy Boomowski in the Commander Sky High yearbook. Kevin Heffernan as Ron Wilson, bus driver. The Sky High bus driver and pilot, he's the son of two superheroes, but does not have any powers. He feels a great sense of pride in driving the quote superheroes of tomorrow, end quote, to school. It is revealed at the end of the film that he fell into a vat of toxic waste, gaining superpowers of his own. He is a kind, good-hearted fellow. Clarice Leachman is Nurse Specs, a kind and eccentric elderly lady that serves as Sky High's single known nurse with the ability of X-ray vision. Jim Rash is Mr. Grayson slash Stitches, Royal Payne's bumbling sidekick. He raises her as his daughter after she was turned into a baby by the pacifier. Dave Foley as Jonathan Boy slash All-American Boy, the commander's old sidekick who works as a superhero teacher at Sky High. Kevin McDonald is Professor Medulla, the mad scientist teacher with a hyper-advanced, parentheses, and oversized, end parentheses, brain, which grants him advanced intelligence, creativity, and a multitude of genius-level skills. Kim Rhodes is Professor Jenny Elast slash Elastigirl. Ooh, that sounds like a copyright problem. A girl who has the talent to twist her body into anything she wants. Her characters was never shown in the final cut of the film. I wonder why. I wonder why Elastic Girl was cut from this film. Perhaps due to another film very popular with a similar character. Maybe. Moving on. Tom Kemme and Jill Talley as Mr. and Mrs. Chester Timmerman. They made a small cameo in the film, not expanded on. Lauren Berman as Larry, a nerdy boy who can turn into a golem-like creature. And Dustin Ingram as Carbon Copy Kid. Production. Exterior shots of Sky High were filmed at Oviatt Library at California State University in Northridge. According to sci-fi.com, Disney was attracted by the, quote, original concept, end quote, of, quote, children of superheroes going to high school, end quote, originally conceived by screenwriter Paul Hernandez in 1990s. after recruiting comedy writers Mark McCorkle and Bob Shuley, parentheses, creators of Kim Possible, and parentheses, for polishing Hernandez's script, parentheses, they only wrote the beginning and ended sequences, end parentheses, Disney hired several comedians such as Kevin McDonald, Dave Foley, and Kevin Heffernan for supporting roles. For the main roles, the casting was a mix of established and new teenage actors, while Michael Angarano and Mary Elizabeth Winstead were already successful. Danielle Panabaker was little known, and Stephen Strait, a former model, that was in parentheses, apologies there, was hired after his first audition ever. Director Mike Mitchell said that Sky High functions on two premises. Quote, the adults are all insane, end quote, and, quote, the girls are smarter than the boys, end quote. Therefore, all the adults portrayed in the film tend to be caricatured, while teenage girls are written as more assertive and powerful than the boys. For the treatment of teenage actors, Mitchell also stated the actors all had their own trailer and were generally kept separated because, quote, we did not want them to date after the second week and break up after the fourth, end quote, which would have made filming difficult. So it's getting a little less sore. Time for another soda break. A little bit of a burp. Mitchell, a science fiction fan, admitted that this project, quote, was a dream, end quote, because it brought him together with four of his favorite SF cult heroes, namely Wonder Woman, parentheses, popularized in the eponymous 1970s, in the eponymous 1970s television series by actress Linda Carter, and parentheses, Snake Plissken, parentheses, portrayed by Kurt Russell, and parentheses, Ash Williams, parentheses, from Evil Dead, played by Bruce Campbell, and parentheses, and Cloris Leachman, who earned fame as Frau Blucher in Young Frankenstein. Reception and box office figures. Sky High received generally favorable reviews, based on the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes. The film earned a rating of 73% positive reviews based on 127 critic reviewers and an average rating of 6.5 out of 10. The site's critical consensus read, this highly derivative, God, that's embarrassing. This highly derivative superhero coming-of-age flick is moderately entertaining, family-friendly fluff. Commercially, it was a success. On an estimated budget of $35 million US, it earned just under $64 million in US alone, and another $22 million internationally, bringing the total over just $86 million. Soundtrack. The Sky High original soundtrack was released by Hollywood Records on July 26, 2005, and composed of covers of the songs from the 1980s, parentheses, with the exception of, quote, Just What I Needed, end quote, which is from the late 1970s, end parentheses. Track listing. 1. Quote, I Melt With You, end quote, Bowling for Soup, parentheses, originally by Modern English, end parentheses, 4 minutes, 3 seconds. Quote, Through Being Cool, end quote, They Might Be Giants, originally by, parentheses, originally by Devo, end parentheses, 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Quote, Save It For Later, end quote, Flashlight Brown, parentheses, originally by The Beat, end parentheses, 2 minutes, 49 seconds. Quote, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, end quote, Christian Burns, parentheses, originally by Tears for Fears, end parentheses, 4 minutes, 28 seconds. Quote, one thing leads to another. End quote. Stephen Strait. Parentheses, originally by The Fix, and parentheses, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Quote, lies. End quote. The Click 5, parentheses, originally by Thompson Twins, and parentheses, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. Voices carry. Oh, I'm sorry, that was in quotes. Vitamin C, parentheses, originally by Till Tuesday, and parentheses, 4 minutes, 16 seconds. Quote, please, 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 let me get what I want. End quote. Elephant, parentheses, originally by The Smiths, and parentheses, 2 minutes, 53 seconds. Quote, true, end quote. Carey Brothers, originally by, in parentheses, originally by Spandau Ballet, and parentheses, 5 minutes, 11 seconds. Quote, just what I needed, end quote. Kalai Peters, parentheses, originally by The Cars, and parentheses, 3 minutes, 38 seconds. Quote, can't stop the world, end quote. Ginger Sling, parentheses, originally by The Go-Go's, and parentheses, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Quote, and she was, end quote. Caton Simmons, parentheses, originally by Talking Heads, and parentheses, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. Quote, twist and crawl, quote, end quote, Skindred, parentheses, originally by The Beat, and parentheses, 2 minutes, 31 seconds. Reception. AllMusic rated the album 2.5 out of 5, saying that it, quote, stumbles more than it succeeds, end quote, and is, quote, painfully conventional, end quote. Home media. The film was never released in separate widescreen and full-screen format editions on DVD. Wait, where did I read that? That's a grievous error on my part. Apologies. The film was released in separate widescreen and full-screen format editions on DVD on November 29, 2005. It was the first Disney movie ever released on home video to never have a VHS release. It was also released on high-definition Blu-ray for original widescreen presentation on November 21st, 2006. Sequel. In November 2016, it was announced that Disney is developing a sequel to Sky High, and that the film is in early development stages. See also Hero High, PS 238, Zoom, My Hero Academia, a 2014 Japanese manga series with a similar premise. You heard it here, folks. My Hero Academia is ripping off Sky High. So, by liking that, you're basically liking plagiarism, which is illegal. So, that's of note. References. 1. Quote, detailed views of movie page, end quote. Retrieved 21st of December, 2015. ABC. Oops, I'm sorry, I messed that up. 2. ABC, quote, Sky High 2005, Box Office Mojo, end quote. Received 21st December 2015. 3. Quote, Sky Kids have hero issues, end quote. Sci-fi.com, parentheses, 22 July 05, end parentheses. Quote, Oviat Library. I'm sorry, I forgot the number. 4. Quote, Oviat Library, end quote. Retrieved 4th of October 2014. 5. Quote, University Licensing, end quote. California State University, Northridge. Received 21st December 2015. 6. ABCD, quote, Kurt Russell and company go back to high school to learn what it means to be super in Sky High, end quote. Retrieved 4th October 2014. 7. AB, Sky High DVD Extras. 8. Quote, Sky High, parentheses, 2005, end parentheses, end quote, Rotten Tomatoes Fandango Media, retrieved 1st June 2015. 9. Sky High, at AllMusic. 10. Health, Paul, parentheses, October 17th, 2016, end parentheses, quote, exclusive, story writer revealed for DreamWorks, quote, Shrek 5, end quote, dash, quote, Sky High 2, quote, end quote, coming, question mark, end quote. I'm sorry, that was a lot to say. The Hollywood News. External links. Official website, Sky High on IMDb, Sky High at Rotten Tomatoes, Sky High at AllMovie. Films directed by Mike Mitchell. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, 1999. That was in parentheses the year was. Surviving Christmas, parentheses, 2004, end parentheses. Sky High, parentheses, 2005, end parentheses. Shrek Forever After, parentheses, 2010, end parentheses. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, parentheses, 2011, end parentheses. The SpongeBob Movie, Sponge Out of Water, parentheses, 2015, end parentheses. Trolls, 2016. 2016 was in parentheses. The Lego Movie 2, the second part, parentheses, 2019, end parentheses. Categories. English language films, 2005 films, 2000s action films, 2000s comedy films, 2000s fantasy films, 2000s teen films, 2000s superhero films, American action comedy films, American films, films directed by Mike Mitchell, American coming-of-age films, American fantasy comedy films, American teen films, Walt Disney Picture films, American superhero films, superhero comedy films, superhero films featuring female antagonists, teen superhero films, films scored by Michael Giacchino, films about revenge, superhero schools. This page was last edited on 5th November 2018 at 18:20 UTC. All right, that's it. That's the whole thing.